Hello and welcome to my presentation on why climate change is a pyramid scheme invented by the Matrix. I mean, DGBA quick feet PRs. So, I mean, this is pretty straightforward. I just ranked all 24 teams, and if you disagree with me, you're wrong because my opinions are right. Anyway, on two PRs. I first wanted to give an honorable mention to J Caps because in my eyes he is still in quick feet. He gained a Mickey Mouse promotion while I was out of the league and therefore it doesn't count. So I just wanted to shout out his team. As a best pick went on it, which sure, whatever. He's got new toys and Raging Bolt as well, and a lot of Gen 9 Mons in particular. But yeah, he'll go on honorable mentions, despite being in Swarm, even though because he should be in Quick Feet. Anyway, on to our top 24. We have Yehoodles at number 24 with Spectrier, Terra Sneasler, Hisui Samurott, Sandy Shocks, Rillaboom, Hatterene, Braviary, Hisuian, Sliggoo, Swalot, Terra Kerbank, and Levani, which yeah, any team with three one-pointers on it is pretty much just not good regardless, because if you need three one-pointers at the end of the draft, chances are you messed up somewhere. So perhaps I don't think he's going to stick with three one-pointers for the entire season. No, there's no way all three of them make it to the week 4 trade deadline. So uh yeah, that's why he comes in at the bottom for me. Plus, he drafted Spectre, and that's not a real mon. 23, we have Nala. So I was trying to film this before first game got played, and he did just play the first game against Nazarmet. Pretty fun game, but it kind of showed issues that I have with this team. Like, Zama went down relatively easily, and it just felt like he had no more firepower left to deal with Nazarmat's team in the end. And yeah, as you can see, there was a Zamazenta crowned, Ogrepon Wellspring, Mandibuzz, Donphan, Ninetales, Alola, Mew, Revavroom, Appleton, Flareon, and Strika, which another 2 1 point team, which, like, if you draft one pointer, sure, there are some good ones. Two, okay, you're pushing it a little bit. But I get the argument for some of them. Three is just way too many. But he has two of them, and neither of them are going to be useful literally ever. So that hurt his draft quite a bit. On number 22, we got Doki the Dingus, aka Wagon Fruit, with Darkrai, Zapdos, Terra, Annihilate, Swampert, Gigaton, Ogrepon, Quillfish, Mousehold, and Hitmonchan. This is a little bit better. I felt like the bottom two teams were the only ones that were just they just felt worse than the rest of the pack. This one not my favorite though. I've just used Darkrai in another league that shall go unnamed, but it's honestly pretty underwhelming. I don't think it's personally worth 22 points without Terra, and yeah, I mean the team enough does a decent job supporting it, but I don't know. I just don't mess with this team. I personally just don't vibe with it. Also, Hitmonchan does absolutely nothing. Be prepared for that. 21, we're on to metal with Great Tusks, Parrot, King Gambit, Iron Bundle, Mew, Thundurus, Weezing Galar, Goodra, Dunsparce, and Typhlosion. I don't have any real problems with this team. It's just fine. It's kind of just fine. Pretty boring if you ask me. It's just a lot of like one-dimensional mons like Iron Bundle on the team. Just uh, they're good mons. Don't get me wrong. It's just a lot more intriguing teams that we have coming up in our top 20. Starting at number 20, we got Pasta Supper with the Terra Gouging Fire, Greninja, Rotom Wash, Metagross, Gliscor, Serena, Hisuian Zoroark, Terra Florges, and Skunk Tank, which I don't care if people think that Florges is a real mon with terrestrialization. It still isn't and never will be, so stop it. The rest of the team's alright. Metagross is one of my favorite Pokemon ever, so that's a plus. And I know Gliscor sucks now because it lost Roost, but yeah, the rest of the team's okay. Don't have not jumping out to use it, but it does look kind of fun, but it does have problems. Moving on to 19, we got Dark with Iron Valiant, Dio Speed, Goldengo, Lando T, Cyclozar, Terra Superior, Araquanid, Typhlosion, and Smeargle. I'm pretty excited to see what Superior can do with Terastallization because it's one of the mons that got hit the hardest in Gen 8 by losing Hidden Power Fire. But the rest of the team's fine. Dio Speed's not a mon, never will be. There's a lot of mons on here that can do a lot of different things, so that can make this team quite fun. But overall, it is generally a pretty frail team. So just be on the lookout for that. Dark. Next up, we got K Savage with the Terra, Iron Boulder, Urshifu Single, Iron Treads, Iron Bundle, Scream Tail, Rotom, regular Rotom, Dragalge, Moltres, Terra, Diplin, and Greedent. I can't believe this motherfucker really sniped a Greedent from me in 2024. I didn't think that was humanly possible, but here we are. Um, yeah, three Paradox Pokemon on one team, which is eventful. But the top end looks nice. I'm not a huge fan of the bottom end. I've never really been a Moltres. Never ever been a Moltres fan, but it is what it is. Nearly took off another point for the Terra Diplin, but I get why that was it. Why that was a choice. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about this team. 17, we got Nazarmad, the current stop the count DGBA champion, the only guy who has won a game up to this point because it's the only game that's been played. He's got the Urchalodon, Pelipper, Terra Gothitelle, Thundi T, Overquill, Amoonguss, Quaquaval, Terapagos, Terra Barraskewda, Hatchrim, and Cottony. Yeah, those last two one pointers, when I said they were good one pointers, those are not two of them. I mean, it's always funny to see one pointers get drafted, but it's even better to see them be useful, and I don't see either one of them being useful. Otherwise, it's a pretty solid Rain team. I could make the obvious comparisons to the Rain team that I had in Swarm, but that team was outright unusable. So I'm glad it's so far working out better for Nazar Matt. He's already matched the amount of Rain team wins that I had in 10 games than he has in his one game. Enough's there. 16, Sun, my week one opponent. He's got Terra Lecky, which, woof, that thing should be banned. I personally think it should be banned, but that's not going to save anything now. G King, Excalibur, Enamorus, Aloe, Hariyama, Crook, Terra Grottle, and Earthworm. I think this team is a little too dependent on the threats at the top. I think the offensive depth is just not there. I'm really only worried about like the top three offensive threats there. I mean, this clip could totally come to bite me in the ass on Saturday, but I don't care. Also, Al is not a mon, but Terra Grottle is pretty based. Shout out Undead. 15, we got Zeb Strike 'em Down with Corn Tea, Garchomp, Corviknight, Ogerpon, Hearthflame, Keldeo, Muck, Comfey, Copperajah, Hisui, and Avalugg and Blitzel. Based Blitzel, but I'm sorry, that's a deduction. But Blitzel is not doing jack. Comfey is also not a mon. It never will be. Um, what was the third? Oh yeah, the Sui and Avalugg is kind of whatever. I didn't like it when I used it, but who knows? Okay, so at number 14, we have newcomer to the DGBA, Septile Scythe, and Spectrier again. Spectrier, Terra Sneasler again. To be fair, it is a really good Spectrier team to support it, but it hurts it because it's Spectrier, so therefore you're at number 14. I guess JCaps probably has it higher. I can probably see that, but unfortunately, I do have to penalize you for being Spectrier. Number 13, we have Metareolu with Dragapult, Terrakin Gambit, Glamora, Infernape, Enamorous T, Shaman, Gastrodon, Terra Kilowatto, and Gothorita. Gothorita's not going to do anything, but I like the rest of the team. It is boring good, but yeah, that's kind of that Gen 8 kind of taught me that's what you do with Dragapult. Dragapult teams in specific, that they're just boring good, almost all of them. So yeah, that's kind of been fried in my brain for a little bit. Number 12, we got Fistier Doom with another Dragapult team. It's Hisuian Samurott, Terra Sand, Terra Excadrill, you name it. Did not have to take off any points for do I like the Mons, even though the Primeape is a little bit sus. It probably is a better 4-point fighting type. But yeah, don't really have any problems with the team outside of that. It's just a pretty solid pseudo sand team. Number 11, we have Castelia with Terra Gouging Fire. Terra Florges again, which that hurts your grade a little bit. I'm sorry, but I like the rest of the team with Meowscarada, Keldeo, Sandy Shocks. Yeah, bulk's pretty good. The offense is there. It's solid. It's not completely threatening, but it's a pretty solid team. It'll get the job done. Number 10, cracking the top 10, we have Gorax with Zamazenta, Terra Enamorous, Galar King, Terapagos, Swampert, Chestnuts, Terra Titan, Sableye, and Glaceon. Not really sure what Glaceon does, especially with Titan there, now that I see that. Not personally my cup of tea with this team, but I can see why. I think it's gonna do well. But it is a Zama team, and those always underwhelm, so we'll see about that. Number 9, we got my boy, my king, Golden Cyber with really, bro, Dio Speed. I'm so disappointed in you now. Even if I like the rest of the team, I'm very disappointed in you. Terra Urshifu single is pretty good. Terra Diancie is also pretty solid, and then everything in between is pretty good. I just don't like Dio Speed. Not as much as I hate Spectrier, but just Dio Speed is just woof. Number 8, we got Endless Low Tier God from New Jersey Gadgets with Terra, Lecky, Ogerpon, Wellspring, Tinglu, Screamtail, Scizor, Weavile, Rotom Heat, Muck, and Haunter. Outside of the Haunter, I really like this team. I think it'll be really solid. It's pretty fun. It has a lot going for it offensively, which is what I like the most about it in a pretty hyper offensive meta. So there's that. There we go. All right, we're back in. All right, number 7, we got JP with Ogerpon, Hearthflame, Palafin, Gliscor, Goldenko, Terra Noivern, and Ogerpon. Forgot to mention that. Hatterene, Electros, Smeargle, Probopass, and Woken. I'm not really sure what Probopass does, but I really like the rest of the team. I think it's pretty balanced, and it's one of the better teams in Quick Feet. Number 6, we got Vinny with Terra Latios, which is just gonna be a monster. This back half of Gen 9, I can just feel it. You got Greninja, Iron Tread, Zapdos, Terra, Hisui, and Arcanine, Ursaring, Comfey, Hisui, and Decidueye, Arbok, and Spiritomb. I'm not really sure what Arbok does, and as we established before, Comfey is not a Pokemon, so yeah, that's like the only thing that's kind of like hurting your team. Otherwise, I really like it. It's very offensively threatening. I don't know if I play or not, but I don't want to play against this team. Good job. Number 5, we got Manu with Manure. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but sorry. You please correct me. We got Iron Valiant, Corviknight, Terrakirum. It's my Terrakirum brother right here. Slowking, Clodsire, Incineroar, Shaman, Kilowattrel, Terrakilowattrel, I might add. Household and Darkspun. Yeah, this is just a good team. It looks like a lot of fun. It's pretty balanced. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I think it's pretty good. 4, we got Mustang with Garchomp, Terratornteen, Necrozma, Crocaval, Superior, Revavroom, Grimmsnarl, Golurk, Electrode. This team is on the frailer side, but you have some bulky ones, and then the offense is just chef's kiss. Just everything here can do damage in its own way. And those top 5 especially are just going to be a problem for opponents. I'm surprised Superior is not Terra, but I think you can get away with it. Your team doesn't really care for steals all that much. You have Garchomp. 3rd, we have iPanda with Terra, Iron Boulder, Darkrai, Rotom Wash, Donphan, Klefki, Amoonguss, Infernape, Munchlax, Crocolore, and Lilligant. Not really sure what a Crocolore does, but the rest of the team, it's pretty good. I like the high end. I like the high end Pokemon, and most importantly, that Darkrai was not the first pick on this team, and that it's a supporting piece. I think is going to be. It's not the focal point of this team, and I think that's going to be really good for a Panda because being reliant on it is not going to be a good idea. Second, we have Leaf with Great Tusk, Terra Latios, Weavile, Scizor, Primarina, Rotom Heat, Pheasantipity, Ursaring, Leafeon, and Electrode. I think Leafeon as your grass is a little bit shaky, but otherwise, I really like this team a lot. It's definitely my favorite outside of the number 1 team. And yeah, it does a good job of supporting Terra Latios, and yeah, I really like that. And then number 1 should be no surprise to anyone. It's me. Of course, I drafted the best team because I drafted it. And if you disagree, you're wrong because fuck you.